to me, he was telling me I couldn't do it.
I got
That's
you.
the way
I
I
got
felt.
you.
Right?
I got you.
When he said, you know, you can't always start out on top. It's like I was excited about it, right? And then he just hit me with that, and I was like, man. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to do this just to prove him wrong. So, you know, we wanted to hop on here. You know, I've got my channel. One of my channels is, you know, for new real estate agents, you know, and my channel, you know, just kind of, I give advice on based off my experiences for the past 4 years, you know, and some stuff I've gone through and kind of, you know, hoping to help out the next guy that's just getting into the real estate business, or maybe someone that's been in the real estate business for a while and they're hitting that plateau and maybe they just need some different ideas of something to do to help create some business. You know, I came in the business, you know, pretty quick, and dude, when I looked at the market and when I was getting my license and I was looking at all these other top agents, then I got to looking at everybody and no one was doing any kind of videos.
Yeah.
So I knew going in, that's what I had to do. But the hardest thing about doing videos is, like they always say, is starting. So it's been, you know, that was probably the toughest part because we're our biggest critics, right? And the only reason I'm bringing all this up is because now I see you pumping out some new videos, more, you know, leadership type videos, and then your new YouTube channel, which like I said, I'm digging that.
It's not there yet, but it's growing, man.
I know, but you just started, man. I mean, you got to start somewhere. But it's Sales Noob. You know, I'll link all that stuff below as well, so everybody can go check it out. I'll put a little right there so everybody can see what the page looks like.
Gotcha.
So anyways, I see you doing that, and dude, you're hitting some TikTok, which I haven't done TikTok.
TikTok's where it's at, bro. Like the demographic on it so it was Musically and then TikTok, right? So, you know, as I started listening to more of like what was like, so that platform for me, when you look at the demographic, it makes up of like literally kids from the ages of 6 to around 17.
Yeah.
And then it skips like almost a whole generation. And then it goes from like 36 to like 52.
Yeah.
But then as I started diving into it, because people realize that, you know, the same aspect of Facebook and how big it became. I mean, it's free. There's no charge, right? There's no. So I think everyone's trying to capitalize on that. And for me also too, from a coaching and from a fatherly perspective, I started off with like putting little videos of my dog, you know, and it just to kind of get a feel for it. But now I'm going to try to reach out to not only the parents of those kids, right, by trying to influence them with, you know, just living your best life, man, you know, and indirectly just spreading that good message, you know, I think. And then I literally had one of the kids like one day like posted back. It was like, dude, he was like, dude, I'm just a kid. And I was like, hey, no problem. I said, like it and save it when you're older. You know, so, you know, TikTok, I think it puts out 15, 60 second videos. It's quick. It's easy to get your message across out there.
So, I mean, obviously we just started chatting because, you know, you and I have known each other. What are we going on, 20 years?
Yeah, it's been a while, dude.
Since Bonham, Chrysler, 2002-ish, 2003.
I think I started, mid to early 2000s, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so almost, you know, we're going on 20 years. We've known each other, you know. First of all, I should probably introduce you. I mean, I've got this thing recording, so
no problem.
Hey, this is Mike Ballero. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him, like we were just talking, you know, for 20 plus years in the sales industry. For you guys that, you know, my channel, you know, my real estate. But before I got into all this, I was actually in the car business with Mr. Ballero here, you know, and in the car business, you know, you and I talk about this all the time. It's a different world, you know, it was a different world, but, you know, like we've said before, it made us tough. It made us strong. And it really honed in some of our sales skills, you know,
for sure.
And, you know, I always talk about the car business being like the mafia. You know, once you get in, it's tough to get out. There's a lot of these guys, you know, they're good at what they do. They're good in sales. And for some reason they want out, but they don't ever make that jump, you know, because I know why it is. It's because of the income. You know, they don't think that they can go somewhere else and make that kind of income, you know,
Sure.
and I remember when I got out of the car business, and I was making a good income, you know, and I just jumped out and said, I'm done, you know, and everybody just thought I was complete nuts. And I thought I was completely nuts too, but I did it. So anyway, that's kind of a background of where me and Ballero met. And let's see, we were at the Bonham Chrysler, which was
way out in the country, man.
Yeah, Bonham, Texas. We were pumping out, as we call it in car business, we were moving some iron.
Oh yeah,
back in the day. You know?
Yeah, we had those summer months where we did like 500, 600 cars.
600, yeah. I used to do those commercials, and you know, I remember we were calling it the Bonham 500. You know, and we just blew that out of the water. I think I remember that one year we did like 670 one month of cars.
Yeah,
and you can't ever explain. I mean, we were in little trailer houses, right?
Yeah,
remember that?
Yes. Double wides.
In our parking, our lots were gravel and mud. Remember, we would just pour rain, and we had to go get a truck out for a customer. Just be stuck.
That makes sense.
Big guys back there pushing, just getting mud all over us.
Dude, that place didn't make sense. Really, like when I started selling cars, you know, like it was all concrete, man. And when I got that job out there, and I initially met you guys, it was like. I honest to God, I remember pulling up right in the gas station front, and I was like suit and tie. Yeah. And I was supposed to see Sean there, and then I was like, I pull up to the front. I remember calling Eric, and I was like, dude, is this the right place? That was the genius behind it, right? Yeah. You know, I mean, and I think it worked in our favor because, you know, we really did attract buyers from everywhere, and in reality, you know, we really did move a lot of iron, and we treated people, in my opinion, really fair because, you know, for what we were selling at the time and what it was bringing out elsewhere, we were moving more and really, you know, being very competitive out there, I thought.
Well, you know, and there's one thing that I always heard from my customers there, and, you know, they would travel in obviously from the Dallas area or wherever. And we ended up selling from all over the world really, but they would always say, man, we like coming here because you know, of course we were wearing like cargo shorts, like polo shirts, and some of us wearing ball caps or whatever, but my customers always said they felt more comfortable there. We were more approachable than going to these city dealerships where these, you know, they felt like, you know, the guys were pulling one over on them because they're wearing these high dollar suits and everything. So, you know, that really was something that was created there. And it really, I mean, like I said, it worked. And it really worked.
It worked real well.
and that, you know, when I got in there, obviously I was in just regular floor sales, and I remember wanting to get into the internet sales department. So just a few months into the business, I got into the internet sales department, and that was really looked down upon. The internet sales in the car business really everybody looked from ownership down all the way through management down to sales. People looked down on internet sales, and it really was one of the reasons I really wanted to do that. You know, like you and I have talked before, being in the car business, is like we kind of really wanted to change the way car business was done. Sure. You know, it really has a horrible name, you know, like
it does.
And it was really tough. People don't understand how hard it was to sell someone, because when those customers were walking on that lot, they did not want to be there. They hated being at the car dealership. You can ask anyone, what's one of the worst things you hate buying? It's a car. I mean, they want the cars. Right. They hate the process. And I think, you know, being in the internet sales, I think it's one thing, you know, that I wanted to change. And that's kind of what we did is, you know, we went and created a totally different atmosphere there. You know, we really created the best price for these customers so they would come to our dealership. And then once they were there, made sure they were treated right. And, you know, and that's how how I ended up growing my business there and moving up the ladder into that. So,
for sure.
I know you started in the car business, you know, long before I did. So, I mean, kind of give me your background, where you started and where you're at now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I'm originally from Miami, Florida. Man, I left Miami in '97, but interestingly, how I got in the car business, I met my wife, and then even back, let me pull the fish in a little bit further here. So
back in the skateboarding days.
Yeah. Let's go back to the skateboarding days. I mean, Christian is soy hammerheads and not his compass. Yeah, for sure. So, you know, you and I have so many similarities in that, because like you, I mean, I grew up skating, and I was into surfing and skating, and that's who I was.
Yeah.
But one thing that I always knew I was comfortable with was, you know, seeing opportunities and then trying to really, really like take advantage of that in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
I was the kid that was like selling gummy bears and gummy worms, because I figured out that I can buy them when my mom would take me, you know, to Costco or to like a wholesale market, and I can buy them at bulk for less than what kids were buying them for. And then I take them to the bus stop and sell them to my friends in little Ziploc bags for a couple of bucks. I mean, just to make some money. But so, you know, fast forward to, you know, the mid 90s, I met my wife, and her father-in-law, my father-in-law, Manny, as you know, truly one of the greatest guys I've ever met. You know, I love him to death, like my own dad. You know, it was kind of a decision point. I was dating my wife, and so, you know, I had to make a decision. She was like, go meet my dad up at the car lot. And this was like in, I want to say, Bubba, it was like October, maybe November of 94, 95. I want to say 95. Mm-hmm. And I went to, I was working in Miami, of course, where I was. And I went down to South Motors Nissan. That was the first place I worked. And Manny was there. And I never forget, like, going to the car lot. And, you know, he was so intimidating, man. He was like eyeballing me. You know, I was dating his daughter. And he was like, you know, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, what jobs are available? And he was like, you got a porter and you got a salesman. And I was like, all right, what's the porter do? Because obviously I knew what the salesman did. He's like, the porter drives the parts van around. You don't want to do that.
and you know, these folks obviously don't know Manny, but Manny, that's it. You know, he's real sharp and loud, but one of the nicest guys.
Oh, yeah.
I love Manny. Same way with you, man. I love that guy to death. But keep going. Yeah,
you know, he's salt of the earth, man. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But and that was it. That's where I started. You know, but I remember, and I always say this to people because it's true. So I asked him, what do I need? Because he told me, show up tomorrow. I said, what do I need? And it was probably like one of those pivotal moments in my life. And he said, a pen and a determination. And that was it. And I had both. I mean, I was determined not only to, you know, I wanted to be successful, and I knew that I can do it, but I wanted to prove to him that I was, you know, of course, worthy of being with his daughter.
Yeah.
You know, that's like that Cuban tradition. My mom's from Cuba. You know, I come from a family of immigrants, Bubba. So my mom's from Cuba. My dad's side of the family's from Italy, and then, you know, Manny's Cuban too. So that was that's what was going on in my life at the time. Moved to Dallas in '97, and I never looked back, man. I mean, my wife and I got married in '98. We had our daughter in '99, my son in 2006, and, you know, I've been in the car business ever since then. So it's been great. It really has.
Yeah. So, you know, speaking of the car business, you know, we had a lot of sales training. I mean, it just seems like constantly. Now, all this sales training, I think it hones those, you know, it sharpens those skills a lot. And I think you need all that.
Sure.
And the reason why I say this, I've seen it so many times, like from a management position. You and I have both been there. We, you know, our owners are telling us, hey, we need to get more guys on the floor. We need to get more guys on the floor, you know, so we go out and just hire whoever, right?
Sure.
What do we call it? Flooding the floors.
Yeah.
As a salesperson, we hated that. As a management, it's something we had to do. But you get these guys in there and you train them. They go through the training and all that. And some of them just, it's the same training. And some guys can, my phone's dinging here. Some guys can do it, and then some guys can't. But I think it's as far as a leader or a management, one thing that I started doing is going, wait, why is this guy want to be a floor salesman? This is not him. I don't know. There was one particular guy we had went through all this sales training and all this, went on to the floor sales, couldn't sell a lick.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew every single thing about these cars. I mean, from the technology, he loved these cars. He loved Mopar. He knew everything about them. So I remember I got called into the owner's office. He said, hey, we got to get rid of this guy. And I felt bad. The kid was, you know, just a nice kid.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? This guy knows more about these cars than I do or anybody at this dealership, including probably the guys working back in service. I said, well, you know, in our industry then, you know, we always had, you know, the reviews from clients, you know, past customers, and we get graded on those. And one of the bad grades we were getting all the time is like, yeah, they sold me a car, but didn't tell me how to operate everything, you know, all the technology. So what I did is I created a position for this kid and said, hey, let him be our delivery guy. So every new car that was sold, this guy went out and showed every button on those cars because he knew it, and that's what he loved, man. He did that for a long time. So
yeah.
you know, sometimes we got to look a little bit beyond and really put a person where they actually fit. Not everybody would like to be in the sales in like your position or in the real estate like where I'm at, but sometimes not everybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
That's
know.
true.
Is that a fair assessment?
I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the only place where I think that you have to, you said it earlier, like, so you said the word love, and I think that that love, that desire is the most important thing. There's 1,000 people right now that are doing something they absolutely hate to do.
Yep.
But they were raised in a certain fashion to think that, hey, I've got to do this in order to be successful. But at nighttime, you know, they come home and they get on the computer and they mess around with Photoshop all night long, and that's their passion. But they're not following it, right? Yeah. So they don't really love what they're doing. So I think that if you've got a desire or a real love, just the same way that this kid wasn't a great salesperson, but he was a great delivery coordinator.
Yeah.
It just took someone like you that had that vision, right, to say, hey, this kid doesn't need to go. We need to put him in this position. And I think that's where we're at right now in this world. Is a lot of people are starting, especially with COVID. We've had a lot of time on our hands, perhaps, let's say, if you will, right? So a lot of people have had a lot of time to really think about what do I really love? What am I passionate about? And I think that in a year, we're going to look back and you're going to see the biggest transition in the workspace from where people were and thought they should be to where they're going and where they really, really need to be. And that's where they're going to shine. The guy that's making $53,000 right now, selling skateboards, because that's what he grew up doing, and he was a Caballero fan. He still loves. He's got pictures of Tony Hawk, and he's got a fan. He's happy.
Heck
but
yeah.
take that same guy and put him in a cubicle and pay him $110,000, and he works 9-10-hour days, and he comes home and he's got, you know, he's not happy. And so you know, that's where I've been, especially me. I've been looking at this from that perspective for the last several months. And what makes me happy is like what we're doing right now, talking, communicating. Yeah. I love getting to know people. I love getting to understand what goes on in the mind. And then I love understanding more about how I can have an impact on someone's life, not only through my job, but even through like my family and local, you know, community aspects of it, if you will. So you're going to see that. That's a big change coming. I really do feel it is.
Yeah. You know, you and I both listener read, you know, Gary V, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Gary V's a shit, man.
You know, one of the quotes that I've actually got hanging on my wall right over here, you know, it talks about, you know, if you're working just for the weekends, you know, your shit's broken. Don't work just for, and I remember that, man. We made some damn good money in the car business.
Yes, we did.
But you know what? All of us across the board could not wait to get home or could not wait to have that Sunday off. Yeah. And I say Sunday because we work 6 days a week.
Sure.
But we could not wait until that was over with. You know what I mean? Those days. Yeah. And I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah. Neither do I.
And I really don't, because I am doing what I love to do. And people look at it and go, is it real estate? Yeah, it's real estate. It's seeing homes. You know, I've been around a home builder. You know, my father-in-law's a home builder. So I've been around that aspect. My wife loves to decorate and stage and design and all that. But it's more of the marketing aspect for me, more of marketing and doing the videos and being creative. That's what I enjoy. I've been doing that since I was a kid. Yeah. That's what I love. And it's just weird. I didn't plan it, but it's just the way it happened. And now I've realized, I love doing videos and marketing and graphics and all that. And I just happen to sell houses. So
yeah, exactly.
So I know the feeling.
It morphs perfectly. We did that video. We did a couple of videos when we were up at the Dodge store in McKinney, remember? Oh yeah. We did the auction video, the auction video.
The auction.
And then the other one we had like a purple what was that purple Charger we had? Yeah. And I did the bad rendition of Purple Haze with
Purple Haze and all that. Yeah, we had the little PA speaker and the microphone and all that going. Yeah. No, so we always, you know, we were always up to something, just trying to be creative, trying to attract pretty much buyers or just interest of people, you know. So, but anyway, speaking of attracting buyers and stuff, you know, what do you do right now to, you know, attract potential clients, you know, in your business? What do you do? What's working? What's not working?
Yeah. I mean, social media, right? So Gary Vee says it's not social media, the internet, the current state of the internet is social media, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're using these platforms, right? These stages, to connect with people out there. And it drives me wild, dude. I go into these car dealerships and these are good people, good friends, good acquaintances, but they're still not really sold on it. It's almost like they're halfway in. It doesn't cost a thing to put a quick 30-second video on a social media platform like LinkedIn, like TikTok, like Facebook. Okay.
Yeah.
On Facebook, you know, most of those people on Facebook that I connect with, I knew at one point, or I know someone they know and we've met each other. So there's some real connections there.
Yeah.
But that's a great audience, because if there's 600 or 700 of them and I put a video out and 400 of them see it, I paid zero. I just invested a little bit of time. So to answer your question, and just most recently, as you've seen, you've noticed, and I appreciate that, I wanted to add, all right, so let's back up real quick. Why do it? Why do it? So number one, it's like Gary Vee says, I hate to keep referencing it, but it's true. Like, I want your attention, Bubba. I want to get your attention. So I can't get in front of you. I can't. You're in one place, I'm in the other. If you're a dealer operator and I'm someone servicing the automotive industry, then I don't barge into people's offices. We know better than that. You know, I respect that. I respect that space very much. So, you know, over the course of the last 7 or 8 years, when I finally got out of the quote unquote, you know, dealership world, and now I'm on the other side, I've been building relationships. And so just recently, over the last, the relationships are everything, man. Listen, you know, and so, you know, using social media right now, to me, is it has to be, it's got to be a daily part of your, every day you can put up 2 pieces of content. And why do you do it? You do it so they get to know you. You become human, right? And here's the last thing you don't want to do. I don't want to shove my products and services down your throat. I don't need to I don't even have to tell you what it is that I'm doing. I want to put some stuff in there that's kind of cool and you're going to get value out of. And what's the gamble? The gamble is one day Bubba's going to look at my LinkedIn profile and say, oh, dude, Ballero's in the, you know, this space. Yeah. Oh man, I know somebody that needs his services. If I just get one conversion, again, personally, I've invested zero. Now there are people obviously that invest a lot of money into that space, but I'm putting up, you know, maybe across Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook. I don't use Twitter that much. I never really got into it, but
same here.
Across those 4 platforms, I put up maybe 8 to 10 pieces of content a day. Damn. Yeah. And you reached out to me, which is cool because we're reconnecting here, which I'm really glad about. And I think it's dope. And then I've got other people. I had a guy that I haven't talked to and seen in person in a long time that worked for Chrysler, that reached out to me and just kind of asked me what I was doing. I was like, dude, you know, wow, I'm humbled by that, because I'm always a green pea, you know, I'm always learning. And
we all are
reaching out. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's just what you said earlier. You just got to do it. If you want it and you want to get the attention and you want to build your brand, or hopefully attract new buyers to the real estate, you know, or to like me, where I'm selling F&I products, then this is the best and easiest way right now.
Oh, it really is.
Nothing easier.
You know, so, you know, you were touching on something there about creating, you know, that getting people to know you. You know, I always preach the know, like, and trust factor. You know, get people to know you, like you, and trust you, and they'll do business with you. You know, that goes from being on the sales floor in the car dealership, selling F&I products, real estate, being a teacher, whatever, doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. You got to create that know, like, and trust for people to do business with you. And not all of us, especially nowadays, not all of us go out there and do the wine and dine and meet and greet and handshakes and things like that. Social media, man, or, you know, the internet. Is the way to do it. That's how you get your face in front of people. You know, that's why I do the videos, get my face out there. And then you also mentioned about shoving, you know, your product down someone's throat, basically. I try to do, like in my videos, not just selling houses.
Yeah.
I try to do videos about the community, why you want to live here,
Sure.
or events that are happening,
Yeah.
something that'll attract the masses.
Yeah.
And then eventually those people will go, oh, hey, Bubba knows this area more than anyone.
Right.
Why would
become
I
the expert.
use someone else? Yeah.
Yeah.
You become the expert
Yeah.
in that area. And I can't express how much people should be doing that enough. I don't care what industry you're in.
Yeah.
Car business.
And you can't.
Yeah.
You go. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say car business too. Guys are.
It's underrated. No one's doing it.
No.
We talked about it the other day. No one. Think about. There was a guy on TikTok, or not on TikTok, on LinkedIn, and he had it going, man. He's a car guy. He's in the car business. Mm-hmm. Man, he had a little branding scheme going on, and he was really getting some traction. And I think he moved into real estate. And I won't mention his name because just for whatever. But this guy's solid. He's solid. And then I haven't seen or heard. I haven't seen any of his content.
Yeah.
And you just got to do it. If you're gonna do it, eliminate all. You got to 2 middle fingers up to everyone, because not everyone's gonna love what you do.
No.
But I'll be honest with you, I have a lot of fun doing it, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that video I put up today, it took me like 67 tries. I kid you not. At one point, I was like, but then I laughed about it. I was like, all right, it's no big deal. Take a deep breath, and I was like, I had a subject in my mind. I really wanted to share that. I've been reading a lot of books and stuff, and I wanted to bring that value, back to the consumer. But, you touched on something there. Like your videos, like you're putting out there, yeah, you are attracting the masses. And here's what you're doing that's really cool is not only are you're reaching out to people that are in your space, right? I watched your videos about how to get into it. You gave that transparency of here's what you're probably going to make that first year. What's the first thing we used to do when we used to go in the car business, right? We went to a new brand. When I went to Bonham, the first thing I did, all right, was ask Cody, hey, how much did you make last year? That was the first thing I asked, right? And that we always wanted to know what the other guy was making. How much did you make last year? Yeah. And that was and if they were honest with you, they showed you their pay stub, and you were like, either wow or oh, dude, I made a mistake, right? Yeah. But in the end, that person may suck at selling. Yeah. And so it really comes down to us. What you're doing out there, what I'm doing out there, we're providing value to people to hopefully inspire them to do better what they're currently do, or maybe look at something entirely different, and just, and that motivation does that. It really does.
Yeah. And and you have to look inside yourself, who you are, like you were saying, we're looking at other guys' pay stubs, or what are they doing? That doesn't mean that we're going to do the same, or vice versa. Someone's not going to do the exact same as we're doing. Right. So, you got to look inside yourself. You got to find what you're good at. Right. So me, I was being creative, being kind of artsy, and graphics and video. That's my thing. So I've taken that and used that talent and went with it. Some guys have, the talent of talking. I don't really have that talent, but there are guys. I can sit there and go, well, hell yeah, I'm going to buy that from you. Just from talking to them. There are people that are like that, and so you just got to figure out what you're good at and focus on that. Don't focus on what you're not good at. Focus on what you are good at, and whatever you do. And if you, like you said, if you want something, you can get it. You and I both know that. We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, but you got to love it though, man. That's the core, the whole subject, everything we're talking about. It really does. It has to surround a true love and passion for blank, fill in the blank. What is it that you want to do? Do you love it? Then go do it. Give it a try. If it doesn't work, then try something else, right?
There's one mistake that I see every salesperson, every industry make, and that's chasing that dollar. Yeah. Biggest mistake they all make. Yeah. Yeah. Chasing that almighty dollar, and that causes a lot of stress.
It does. We did it for a long time.
Yeah, and you're never going to be happy. And I don't care if you're making the big dollars. You're still chasing that almighty dollar. Once you can get away from that, once you can just get comfortable in doing something that you're happy with, you're truly happy with, like you were saying. Yeah, it's a game changer, man.
Yeah, and you get up every morning and you're like, dude, it's refreshing. It's like when you're, it's just think of like the most exciting event growing up or even current right now that you want to go to and watch, and that feeling, like of like, oh dude, today's like whatever, fill in the blank. That's how people need to really feel about whatever it is that they think they want to do or are doing. They should. If not, then why do it? I mean, it
you
makes
got to
no
figure out
sense
what it is. And I tell people, it doesn't matter what your goal is or what you want to do. I mean, your goal, we all have goals, we still have to have goals, even though we're talking about these things, chasing the almighty dollar, you still want to set goals and achieve goals. I don't care what you want to do. I don't care if you're a gamer.
Yeah.
If you're
gamers are doing it right now.
If you're really good,
doing it right now.
You take us back when we were kids and our parents were, they were like, oh my God, I'll sit here playing those games all day.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But those kids now, look at them.
We're encouraging them.
They figured out how to do it. They've taken something that they love and created something. Yeah.
That's it.
It's like video. Not everybody is good at video or likes to do video, but maybe they're a good writer. Yeah. Or maybe they, like I said, maybe they speak well, they can speak, and maybe they need a podcast or something like that. Yeah. Or maybe someone's a good photographer. There's all kinds of different ways to push whatever you want to do out there. I mean, it's crazy, especially with the technology that we have. Like, for instance, we're on Zoom. You and I are about 3 hours away from each other right now, and we're hanging.
Somebody said it. How do you find out? Like, how do you know what it is that you love? How do I think it was a question asked on a podcast I was listening to. The guy was like, how do I know, like, what it is? And he goes, well, how do you know you like certain foods? Right? You got to taste it, bro. You got to give it a try. Like, you'll never know if you like eggplant or whatever it is that you as a kid didn't want to eat until you actually tried it. We have a saying in my house, try it and you might like it, and it's the same thing with occupation. It's the same thing with really anything in life. I mean, literally just fill in the blank. If you really don't try, if you don't put 100% effort in and give it a go, you will never know. There's people out there right now that think that they should be playing sports, and that's what their moms and dads have been telling them. Hey, and inside the kid wants to, he's a nerd, man, and he wants to go write software. Yeah. He wants to do something completely different, but it doesn't match the DNA in this household, and the kid's being limited. He's being held back. Or just flip it, vice versa. Kids go learn software, but the kid's like, dude, I want to play soccer, and so, I think it's just, unfortunately, like, for a lot of kids, I think growing up right now, maybe they don't have, parents like me or, or potentially, like someone like you in the house that would be influencing them, encouraging them. And I hope for God's sake that there are parents out there that are doing that. I think there are. But it's just what happens to us as we grow up. We're told we should do something, and that's it. And then we do it and then realize I'm unhappy.
Speaking with other salespeople and talking to them about getting into sales or real estate, it's the fear of failure. Yeah. That's why people don't do sometimes what they want to do. They're scared, like, man, what if I go to do it and, I suck at it, or I don't make the income that, to pay my bills or whatever. And that's really the fear of failure is really what stops a lot of people, but they don't try it. So they don't even know. And I think people don't need to fear, failure is, you can learn from that.
It's essential.
You have to learn from that. Just like skateboarding, there's things that I do sometimes and I fall and I hurt and I go, man, why did I do that? I'm not going to do that next time. That broke my collarbone or whatever, so there's, you got to learn from falling. Falling or failing or whatever you want to call it. And it's not a bad thing. Failing is not a bad thing. The bad part is if you don't come back from that failure. Yeah. But it can only make you better.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that failure is like you're saying right now, look at any great leader or any great historical figure that we look at, right? Like, for example, like I was reading something on Abraham Lincoln the other day, and he had failed the bar, right? Because that's what he was. Yeah. And he was told that he wouldn't succeed and do it. And then, of course, he changed history, So, I mean, people are there's been haters from the beginning of time. Sometimes they're your own mom and dad, dude. Like I love my mom and dad to death, you know, but I mean, even they're just people, right? And I heard it said the other day too, like, why care what anyone thinks about you? Not even your own mom and dad really know you. Yeah. Think about it. Like, only person that knows who Mike Ballero is Mike Ballero. The only person that really knows you is you, dude. Yeah. Yeah. So why worry about what anyone has to say or think about you if you really think about it? Because they don't even know you.
That comes to a story when I was, I guess I was 18. I was 18 and I wanted to work at a TV station, you know, get into TV because I like video, right?
Yeah.
So I went and applied for a local TV station. At the time I was going to a junior college and I was working at a boat place. Anyway, I went and applied for this TV station, and I remember I was excited, man. I was telling my dad, I said, man, they actually took my application. And I remember my dad said, son, he goes, you know, you can't always start out on top.
Yeah, right.
And I went, can't always start out on top. I said, but this is what I want to do. Yeah. And it kind of pissed me off. So I made sure I got that job. And I did.
How did you read that though? Like in your mind, he tells you that. What were you thinking that his statement disagreed with though? What was it that his statement, and then you're thinking, did you think you were going to start up at top, or do you think he was just saying that from like perspective?
To me, he was telling me I couldn't do it.
I got you.
That's the way I felt. Right?
I got you.
When he said, you know, you can't always start out on top. It's like I was excited about it, right? And then he just hit me with that, and I was like, man. And then I went, you know what? I'm going to do this just to prove him wrong.
You know, and I really did like that.
You know, I went in with my best game when I went to that interview, and anyway, I got the job. I worked there for, you know, probably 3 years, I guess. You know, and I really got some skills of, you know, filming and doing all that. You know?
I didn't know that, dude. When was that? When was that?
That was in '92, I guess.
You were young. Okay, yeah. So we were teenagers.
Yeah. I was like 18 or 19, maybe.
You're older than me. What, are you 73 or 72?
Am I 73? No. Wait. But yeah, 73. Born in 73.
Okay, yeah, I'm 74.
Okay, yeah.
Bubba, and I told this to what's his name out there, Bonham, the other day. I said, "Oh, Bubba looks like he's still 15 years old, man."
You know, what's funny is, you know, I feel when my wife asks me all the time. You know, we talk about how young we feel. You know, I'm still in my head. My initial thought is 26.
Yeah.
The way I feel.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about you, but that's just the way. That's why I still ride skateboards and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Of course, when I fall down, it feels like I'm. But mentally, I feel like I can go out and do anything.
Yeah. So do I.
You know, it's just I love that. You know, and I think part of that is being happy of in your life. Period.
That's the most important thing. Yeah, man.
You know. Yeah. On a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
What are, you know, like a couple of skills you think that every salesperson needs?
Yeah. Well, I think first and foremost, so if I was to go back in time and this is the honest to God truth, okay? And so here's my advice. If I was to go back in time and start all over, I personally wouldn't have set my goals and sights on the tangible rewards of quote unquote being a salesperson. The cars, the houses, et cetera, et cetera. I wouldn't have done that. Yeah. Because what happens is this. You start doing very well, and you have to maintain that, right? Or else, what are people going to think or say? Or and you get trapped. Yep. So going into real estate, people are going to see a lot of people. There's a guy out there right now that's going to watch this, and he's going to be like, man, I want to get into real estate. And he's thinking, and I really want that Lambo, right? I want that Lambo. And dude, that's a great goal. If that gets you high, dude, go for it. But I would go into it with, like I talked about, with humility, with the understanding that I'm new at this. I want to learn and absorb as much as I possibly can so I can build. And in 10 years, I want to be where initially I was hoping to be in 1. Everyone wants the return right now. They want the ROI right now. Yeah. You got it's a marathon, you know, not a sprint. I've said that a couple of times in some of my videos, but you know, So tip number one, go in with really, really, really low expectations. Seriously. Like, just shed yourself of all of the weight that you put on yourself, the world puts on yourself, that's telling you, hey, here's how you should live, here's the house you should buy. Get rid of all that. Go into it and absorb every single bit of information that you can get about it. Become an expert. So the first thing is I go in with low expectations. Number two, I would set out to truly be the expert in that field. So real estate, car sales, motorcycle sales, skateboard sales, right? Because as you said earlier, we were talking about that guy, right? That was the delivery coordinator that you created that position. He was better than all of us because he knew more about the car. He didn't know how to sell. He was more comfortable as, you know, more of the presenter of things, which quite honestly is really what salespeople do, right? Yeah. So I definitely, go in humble, go in, you know, with humility, low expectations, and take in and absorb as much as you possibly can. I'd say the last thing, the third tip that I would give any guy that's going into real estate or any type of sales position, period, is never, ever, ever, ever think you know enough. So we stay green in the car business, right? You got to stay green, man. Every single day I wake up and I literally tell myself, I don't know shit about what I'm doing, but I'm going to go out and do it anyway. And that's it. And just have that mindset, that mind frame. And what will happen is you'll get in front of customers and you'll find yourself closing deals and selling, and you're not even really trying that hard because ultimately the consumer came to you and they already had the idea of buying the product. And sometimes we have a way of talking them out of it, don't we? Oh, yeah. If I just sit back and I listen to what your wants and needs are, which is so crucial. You know, what are you looking for in a house, Bubba? What are you looking for in a car? Well, you know, it's for my wife and my kids. We're trying to build a family. Okay, great. What else do you like about it? Well, what can I do to meet and exceed your expectations, right? Features and benefits. And right, exactly. Features, advantages, benefits, right, exactly. And so, you know, that's the green P aspect. When we were green in the business, we didn't know anything. And so we came to the customer like, I'm here to serve you. How can I help you? And when we maintain that, then we look up and we're like, I just sold something? Oh my God, like how did that happen? Yeah, and then it's really, truly rewarding. So, you know, low expectations, you know, absorb as much knowledge and wisdom as you can, but stay green the whole way, man. Stay green. Yeah. You don't know nothing, and every day is a new day to learn. That's great, man. Great. I want to add into something, you know, about, you know, focusing on just that product as far as sales go. We had a sales manager back in the day, and he always used to say, sell the sizzle, not the steak. Yeah. You remember that saying? Yeah. Yeah. And back then I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I was green, right? I didn't know what the hell he was talking about, but I heard that. And then later on I figured out, oh, now I know what he's talking about, because we were so focused on that car. You know, some of us are so focused on that house or whatever it is that we forget that's really not what sells the product. You know, it's the things that are around it. You know, like in real estate, it's not just the house. The house is the easy part. The client's already searched on Zillow or your website or Realtor or whatever, found that house. They know that's the house they want. That's the easy part. But what else they want is, like you said, you got to listen to them. Is it for the family? Are they outdoorsy? Maybe, so you got to focus on like the parks around there, you know, things for the family. Or if it's an older couple, you know, they're probably concerned about, you know, hospitals, doctors. So you got to sell the whole picture, the sizzle, community. Yeah. You know, that's one thing that I try to focus on my side of it. So I think one of the top qualities of, like, if someone asked me, Ballero, what do you think the top quality of a quote unquote salesperson is? And again, I got to go back and say he's servant minded. Like he goes in and people confuse that with like giving it away, right? We used to say that, don't give it away, man. Oh, yeah. But just if you're serving the customer dutifully and because it would get confused. Like, you're doing what they're asking you to do. Well, they're the ones buying the product. Yeah, it was tough, wasn't it, in the car business? It was tough. It was tough. Yeah. But, and I can imagine in the real estate world with you, I mean, when someone's looking at a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 purchase, a big whatever the number is, you know, you have to even you have to really be honed in on that.
Oh yeah.
You truly do. And I think some of the best realtors that I've met in my life, which I truly think you're one of them, Bubba, that's for sure. They're the guys that like, come on, walk inside, you know, and take a look around. They let the consumer go and get I experienced that myself when I bought this house that I'm in right now. I went and I kid you not, we lived in the second house. I live here in Frisco, Texas. So
yeah.
The second house I lived in, they were just building the second phase of this community I live in. Okay. The model homes went up like kind of like right adjacent, like behind my house. It was very strange. I would go in and bother this sales guy. He was so cool. He's a retired vet. He's in his 60s at the time. He's such a cool dude. I went in there for 3 or 4 months, man, just looking at this. I loved it. And he never once, and you know what he asked me? He said, dude, are you going to buy this house or what, man? I said, I really want to. He says, let's just write it up. And I swear it was the easiest process. I had already made the decision, but he gave me that space and that time to make it. And I thought, and I respected him for that, man. And not only that, but like the proposition, like I felt like I was winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When I bought that house, I felt like, man, this is a super duper deal. And here I am, you know, 15, 16 years later in the same exact house.
You know, I want to touch on something that reminded me of something in the car business, you know, that approaching, you know, being straightforward with the customer, like the ups when they come onto the lot. A lot of salespeople would just dart right out to them, you know, and start talking to, and the customers didn't like that.
Sure.
What I used to do is a customer would come onto the lot and I'd walk sideways and walk around. I wouldn't approach them directly. I would walk by them and just kind of nonchalant, like, hey, can I point you in the right direction?
Right.
You know, I would never walk straight forward to them and say, you want to buy something, because that was a turn off. So what people don't understand, salespeople, there's a wall, especially in that business, there's a wall there that you got to kind of break down. And like I said, you got to create that know, like, and trust. Yeah. You can't go ask somebody for their money right off the bat. It's not going to happen. What does Gary say? You know, jab, 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 right hook, right? Right. So you got to jab, jab, jab. You got to give before you can ask. Yeah. Right. For their business. Yeah. I think that's so important these days. Yeah,
it is. And that's the value that, like we were talking about earlier, about why put, you know, content out, why do it? Because you're jabbing. And the punch is ultimately the ROI. It's the conversion of someone finally saying, let me check this guy out. Let me see what he's about. Because I keep seeing him up on my feed and, oh dude, I'm looking for a house. Yeah. I feel like I kind of know him because I see him every single day, 1 or 2 times a day. And all of a sudden you become this familiar face to them and they don't even know you.
They don't. Dude, I'm telling you, that's where I get most of my business is because of some videos. I mean, these videos, some of them are 2 years old. Yeah. But these people watch them. I'm looking up here at my board here of these people that I have here. And it's not something I went out and paid money for a lead to get these clients. You know, it's all from social media and stuff that I do there. And these people, they feel like they know me and they reach out to me. And, you know, there's one video that I have on my Facebook page, you know, it's about how to sell your house or why some houses are selling faster than others. And I've had a couple people that I'm going to list their house just because of that video. Yep. You know, matter of fact, they called and sent me pictures of their house and stuff. Hey, what should I do here before so I can get ready to list and things like that. So it's pretty cool. I love getting those calls or those emails just out of the blue. You know, that just drives me to keep on doing what I'm doing. And like
exactly,
block everybody else out.
Yep.
Do what you got to do.
That's the reason why you should do it. And I think anyone that's out there in your space right now, even though I don't have any experience in the real estate space, but we understand customers, we understand people, because that's all it is, man. It's just we're watching people, right? We are observers. I'm the kind of guy I like to people watch. I do. I like to see, you know, what's trending, what's happening out there. I think that's what attracts me so much to social media is because, man, you know, if you want what's happening current, it's happening. It's being created. Yeah. There's these trends that are literally being created and birthed on these social media platforms. And why is that relevant? It's relevant because, well, you're going to run into a consumer one day that's going to be perhaps somebody that's, you know, in that demographic, right? And you want to be able to connect with them. You know, you and I are roughly the same age, right? So, but I think you and I could probably sell anything to anyone because we're on top of things, right? We're aware of what's happening in this world. We're definitely aware of what's happening on social media, and anyone out there that's watching your content or my content, or really anyone that's trying to put content out there, eventually one day, they're going to have to buy a house, or they're going to have to seek services like I provide.
Yeah.
And I hope, I hope that they reach out to me. If they don't, that's okay. Because I had a great time in the process. You know what I'm saying?
And back going on that, there's some guys in the real estate industry that are on YouTube that I watch a lot because I respect, what they're doing. I love their content.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're affiliate with a product that I'm going, hey, if this guy likes it, I like it too. So I go through there and use their links to go buy their products, and they get paid for it. So that's another avenue income.
Look at this dude. Look at this guy right there. You had to see this whole trend going on with the Fleetwood Mac song, right? Dreams.
Yeah.
And the guy, bro, simple. That guy just and I look back through his feed. They call him his quote unquote dog face, right? So I look back on his feed. Now he's been at it for a while, right? So And let me punch this one at you. There's no replacement for work ethic. All right. Oh. Anyone that watches this video, let it be known. Just because you've got a $1,000 phone in your pocket or a $200 phone, whatever it is, any type of recording medium, doesn't mean that you got to put the work in, right? Yeah. To make videos, better than anyone. It takes hours sometimes, right? Depending on, what level.
No, it does. It's hours. I mean, it could take me an hour or two to shoot the video. Then it's going to take me 2 to 4 hours to edit.
Absolutely. So anyone that's out there producing content, especially like the quote unquote YouTubers that are making it and doing very well with it. But like this guy here, he had been at it for a while, right? He had been putting content out there. No one knew who he was. I was reading the backstory on him. His car broke down. He gets on his longboard. He's skating to work. He's been using TikTok for a while, and he just had that song on, and in TikTok fashion does the lip syncing while he's drinking the cranberry ocean spray drink. Dude, now monetization aspects, he didn't make a lot of money on the video from TikTok. I heard reports of between like $6,000 and $7,000, even though that is a lot of money to some people, right? Yeah. To me, it's a lot of money. Yeah. But Ocean Spray bought him a brand new truck.
Yeah. Build it with Ocean Spray, right?
Yeah. He got endorsement deals. I think NASCAR reached out to him. So that guy, who you would have never heard of, who's not a real estate guy, he's not a sales guy, but he even calls himself the dancing thug. You know, and he just branded himself. And so that one video may make that guy, I don't know, it may make him $1 million. Who knows? You
never know. If he stays on top of it and just keeps on taking advantage of what he's created.
Exactly.
And when I say when I'm saying take advantage, I mean just add on top.
Ride the train, bro. Yeah.
Ride it and keep on doing it, man, while it's there. And some people just some people stop at that, right. They stop, I got me a truck and my cranberry, and I think I bought him a new motorhome or RV or something, Some people stop there just because they got that. But if you'll keep riding it, like you said, it turns into something.
Exactly. And then from our perspective, where let's say, if one of the videos that you and I put up makes us $1 million, dude, hey, let's go celebrate, right? But that's not my goal. I'm having fun with it. If that happens, fantastic, dude. What a weird and great experience I'm sure that would be. And but my point of what I'm saying is, in conjunction with what you said about the affiliate aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Is Ocean, that was the greatest marketing piece of all time for Ocean Spray.
Oh yeah, they recognize
never in the history of their company did they ever have more eyes on their product ever.
No.
Not only that, think about that. That guy's one video did that for Ocean Spray, and Fleetwood Mac, they went back. That song is from 1977 or 78, I think it was, right? It all of a sudden climbed to like the top 10 in Spotify. Just like that. They made like 40 grand on that one song.
And think about the generation now.
Yeah.
Right. So now you got the younger generation that now knows who Fleetwood Mac is.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because they're downloading that song now, because now that song's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the relevance. That's the relevancy of what we're talking about here, right? How to get that exposure and provide the value, not only to the people. So someone might say, well, what value did he really provide? I don't know. It's like, why would you watch like like a dog, you know, like paddling in the water because you think it's funny, you think it's cute. And,
You know why? Because it puts a smile on your face, man.
It puts a smile on your face.
Makes
It's
you feel
entertainment.
good. That's all it is. Made someone
That's
feel
all
good.
it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can provide that, I don't know if everyone's an entertainer, but I know you and me, we've got a little bit more of that charm and charisma, right?
Yeah.
Somebody out there is going to be like, and I think the point of what I'm saying is this: if you put the content out there and you want to build your brand, or you want to direct people to your company, you've got to get the content out there. You've got to get your name out there. You've got to just shut off all that worry about what people are going to think, and just let people get to know you. Be authentic. Just be transparent. And a year from now, if it doesn't work, then try something else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good point.
No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul.
You got
All right, Ballero. Dude, it was awesome catching up with you again. It's been
Absolutely.
a while. I know you and I talk on the phone every now and again, or text or whatever,
Yeah.
but it's pretty good to have a old conversation and kind of relive some old memories.
For sure, bro. For sure. I appreciate the opportunity, man. It's seriously, I'm pumped. Like you saw I had on my my Xbox back there. I had the old Bubba. Look at that, man. I tell you what video I like the best. Let me see if it turns on real quick, man. Hang on. There it is. Hey, and look, you never know how you look until you're on the big screen. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at that.
All right, man.
Look at that, man. You're getting her done, buddy. You're getting it done. I'm proud of you, bro.
That's funny. That's funny.
I'm proud of you.
All right, man. We'll catch up. Don't make this the last time. I appreciate everything. And I'm going to put a link to your channel down below. I know it's just growing, but man, I love that idea, what you're doing. Wish I
appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro.
So anyway, Mike Ballero, appreciate it. Sales
Appreciate you.
Go check out his channel.
Appreciate it.
Dude, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bro. Catch you soon.
All right.
Later, bro.
See ya.